Hey guys, Fazzy back here, and a quick NHL 25 news video here today, post getting the franchise mode deep dive a little bit earlier today. A few new things have been revealed online by a couple of creators, as well as a couple of things I did just want to touch on quickly that I did end up skipping over or missing in the reveal trailer itself. So not going to be the longest video here today, but we do have a couple of new things here to talk about today. But let's get into it. Starting out with, unfortunately, some bad news. You guys will see back on August 22nd, if you guys do follow me on Twitter or X, EA did put out, what was going to be cross-platform in NHL 25 and all the different capabilities and factors that were going to be coming in this year's game. Cross-platform roster sharing was unfortunately never mentioned in this post, and unfortunately today it has been confirmed that cross-platform roster sharing in NHL 25 will not be a thing. So that means, unfortunately, I will be putting out for Xbox Series X and S once again this year. If you guys are playing on PlayStation, you unfortunately will not be able to download my rosters this year. That goes for the same way if you are a roster creator on the PS5 side of things. Fortunately, if you're an Xbox user, you will not be able to play with these files. Tactics and Tugi both confirmed this in their videos today. This is a little bit of a new piece of news that has just, come out over the last little bit, and it's unfortunate. Apparently it is high up on the priority list that they want to have added into the game at some point, but at least for this year, it will not be coming. One more thing that is unfortunately not coming with NHL 25 is the AI-generated player pictures. You guys will have seen this if you saw the franchise mode deep dive. Fortunately, I just ended up missing over it. There's a lot of stuff to cover, and I don't really have audio when I'm doing these videos, so unfortunately, yeah, it is going to be the gray silhouettes once again this year. That is really unfortunate. I've seen so many people around the community calling that, we get some kind of AI photo for these players. College football, literally just released a couple of months ago. They are made by EA as well, and they were somehow able to add this feature in their development cycle. But yeah, a little bit of unfortunate news here, but let's move on to some more positive items. The first of which is, again, something that was at the end of the deep dive, which I just unfortunately kind of skipped over, and that is that now basically you can have a best line set up with your coach for, let's just say a player gets injured and then you go best lines, that coach will instantly slot them back into the lineup where you would like them. So to do this, you have to have an interview with your coach. You have to basically override that. Let's just say for Pedersen, I want him on the second line center, which they did in the video. If he ends up going down to injury and you hit best lines, that is where he will end up slotting in the lineup. So again, this is huge if you're playing with injuries. It's something that, again, we've been asking for so many years now, and it's good to see that they're finally adding it in. I guess you'll have to basically go over each position with your coach, and then yeah, you just hit best lines, and they will revert back to where they were prior to the injury. Then also in the negotiations, I did just want to bring up the fact that there's going to be a lot more factors to contract negotiations than I think we thought here when we watched the reveal trailer earlier today. Like, apparently city taxes are going to be, a factor in a player signing with a team. Also proximity to home. Also, are you, a contending team? Are you a historic team? Stuff like that's actually going to matter now in contracts. I think that's something I've been asking for myself personally for what seems like years and years now. Again, something we saw in College Football 25. They have a system, that's more or less similarly implemented to what it looks like they're doing with NHL 25. So that is another small good piece of news here. And finally, when it comes to all of the conversations, I've seen a lot of discourse on this online about, is it going to be, a little bit too much? Is it going to get too repetitive? And according to a lot of the game changers on YouTube, especially Tugi, I was watching his video, and it basically seems like when it comes to the conversations in this game, a lot of them aren't really necessary. Like when it comes to the player challenges, that's something I'm probably never going to end up doing, but it's not like the morale and the conversations are going to be 100% necessary. I could be wrong on this. I've asked around a little bit. I'm waiting for some confirmations of if we can get it turned off or not. like I was saying earlier, it kind of seems like it's been baked into this new system for NHL 25 that ties together all these new features. So to turn it off outright, I'm going to say probably not, but who knows? It might be something that when we get into the game, we can just turn all those settings off if we don't want to play with them. But it is nice to hear that, like, if you really don't want to play with them, you don't want to touch them, it really shouldn't impact the mode too negatively, and it's just to add more depth to the mode in the long run. Especially for something like here on the screen, like I have a contract with Draisaitl. Apparently you can just offer him this contract like you normally would. It just, you have the option to go in and, you know, do further negotiations with them if you would like. But I think that's everything I have here for this quick news update for NHL 25 franchise mode. Saw a couple of new pieces of information ended up dropping today, and a couple of things I missed, so I didn't want to make a video on just one of these things. Wanted to tie, you know, a couple of subjects together here and get you guys all the information that you will need. But that will do it for today's video. I will see you guys all in the next one.